What would you find the challenges of making the Spider-Man all over again? Was there any?
Sure. I mean, the challenge is always to tell a story that people are going to love, and Spider-Man is such a sacred character to so many people that you feel the burden of that responsibility, that you have to tell a story, and Sam did it brilliantly. But we felt really confident about the story we were telling, and I think in a lot of ways the world has changed, and we knew that obviously those movies had been made, we made them, but it felt like there was a different Peter Parker to talk about. And it felt like, there were a lot of things we hadn't tried before and a lot of things we hadn't done before. And we found this amazing director in Mark Webb, hold on baby. And he had a very different approach to this character and a very different sort of burning feeling about who Peter Parker was for him. The truth is, Avi and I have been talking for a long time about this idea of the orphan, the little boy whose parents left him, and what does that do to somebody? And in the comics, that was a really important story, and we'd never dealt with it. And when you start to talk about it, it changes everything about the character, and it makes it a quest. And so we have, Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone in this. It's a completely different movie, but it's also very true to Peter Parker, and it felt just like a great new adventure, and it seemed obvious to us, but we took it very seriously.
And what do you think Andrew brought to Peter Parker that Tobey Maguire didn't do to his Peter Parker?
I don't think there's a one did, one didn't. I think they're brilliant actors and totally different. And I think Andrew brings a very contemporary version of this character to the screen. He's a little bit more of the outsider. He's a little bit more sort of the orphan, but he's no shrinking violet. He's a guy who, before he's bitten, if he sees something he doesn't like, some injustice, he'll step into it and pay the price. But there's this kind of heroic quality to him. Andrew's also incredibly funny, but he's got incredible compassion and intensity as an actor. I mean, look at what he just did in Death of a Salesman. It was mind-blowing. He's just got an incredible range. And the minute we screen tested a bunch of people, we were fortunate. A lot of people wanted to play this part. And we saw his, and it was like that, which I'm sure other actors don't want to hear, but it's true because he just embodied this character in the way that we hoped to tell it. And it was an incredible thing to see.
And how would you describe this movie in a couple of words to people that are excited to see it but they're not too sure? How would you promote for them to go and see it?
It's an incredibly dramatic, compelling, mind-blowing spectacle. I mean, and it's not a Peter Parker story you've ever seen before. I promise you that. It's something very, very different. But if you love Peter Parker and Spider-Man, you'll feel like you're in very good hands. And if you don't think you do, you're wrong, and you will. We love our movie.
Well, it is great. I absolutely love it. So thank you so much, and have a great night.
Glad. You too. Thanks so much.